Beginning with myself, my name is Paul, with a difficult Dutch surname, so I won't bother you with that. And I'm representing here this Dutch CAA Foundation and the International CAA Association as well. As a few of you know, that the Dutch CAA Foundation is founded by Jan Vens, and he has the hereditary form of CAA. He couldn't be here, unfortunately, but he asked me to say hello. And the Dutch CAA Foundation has two goals. This is the only foundation committed in the world till now, committed to raise money for research, of course, but also to put CAA on the map for the general public and to tell them about the disease. And we like to use the phrase, the biggest disease you never heard of. So that are two very important goals for us. And it was very inspiring and hopeful to see all the CAA-related researchers and seeing all the effort and the passion they're putting in the research. Very hopeful and inspiring to see. Each and everyone in their own field, and in this case I like to quote Steve by saying, a victory of one of you is a victory for all of us. And that's the thought I like to present. And it's really good to see. 2 years ago the conference in London was my maiden conference, and to be honest, this year I guess I understood about 24% of everything that was said, and that included the coffee and the lunch break. But I'm getting there. But it's very, very, very hopeful. And the International CAA Association is some kind of love baby of Steve, Mark van Buchem, and the Dutch CAA Foundation, aka Jan Vens. That came out of the Dutch CAA Foundation and those two brilliant people, and that's created to be a platform for all the CAA-related researchers to find each other, to share knowledge, to raise issues. Steve will tell you more about that, but we think that's even as important as to raise money for finding research to get the solution for CAA in the broadest sense we can think of. So please be active on that platform, but Steve will tell you more about that. Now it's time to introduce you to other people, to other members of the non-academic CAA team in Holland. First of all, I will introduce you to Peter Bruin, the new chairman of the board, the successor of Jan. And after that, I will introduce you to Sanne van Rijn. And Sanne van Rijn is a member of the board of the Association of Patients with Hereditary CAA. And we thought it was a good idea to, next to all the scientific presentations this day, to hear the voice, to share the view out of perspective of the patient, so that you know where you all do it for. So after Peter, Sanne will have a little talk about that. It won't take too long, so in about 50 minutes you can let your hair hang down again. No, it's time to introduce first Peter Bruin, our new chairman of the board, a guy I'm already very proud of. Peter.
Thank you, Paul. All done out of the top of your head. Very well done. And as they call it in the Netherlands, you are very well capable of mowing all the greens empty. Put it quite differently, he's basically said everything what I intended to say. But it's, of course, we are very proud that the association as such is such a success. And that's, and I'm personally very much surprised that there was not so much, let's say, coherence in the research platform as such up to recently. And it's funny that, let's say, the association only exists since 2013, whereas, of course, the research activities in all the individual countries has been done for much more many years, as we've done with the last presentation of today. Of course, we are now attending, let's say, the 5th conference of the ICAAA, and I've seen a lot of abbreviations, but funny enough, let's say, for those who, and of course we know that it stands for the International CAA Association. For those of you who have subscribed to the 6th International Conference of Asia Agriculture and Animal Conference, which took place as well, or those who intended to join the reception of the Immaculate Conception Academy Alumni Association, please go to the reception desk for something we're definitely wrong. Now, because we are here to join, let's say, all the efforts we individually do in terms of finding a solution for an apparently still untreatable type of disorder. And it strikes me. I'm from a non-academic world, at least from a non-academic medical world, and that it is such a kind of scattered research activities where the ambition of all the people here on board is clear to everybody, but still the way to collaborate and to share knowledge is apparently a difficult task we have to take. And that was apparent, and that was for sure, let's say, Jan Vence's idea for how to get myself cured. Well, he quite immediately realized that it will not be a cure for himself, but it will be done for generations to come. And in order to do so, he realized that where he was a very successful businessman, as a matter of fact, after let's say he was diagnosed HWA/A, well, the cat-like disease, so to speak. He realized that things have to be fixed, and fixed soon. And in order to do so, and in order to help that, he sold his firm, and he dedicated his money and time to get things rolling. And of course, he realized it's quite easy, on a short note, he realized that the cure would not be for himself, but for generations to come. And still he's got the ambition, and still he's got the drive. And unfortunately, he cannot be there, but it feels like he's looking over my shoulder and sees the drive, ambition, and determination to get things done. And I hope that by let's say, the groundwork he has done, that we will be able to deliver, not today, not tomorrow, but in a, let's say, foreseeable future for a better world. Thank you.
Well, thank you for your time, first of all. I'm Jolanda, and this is Sonne, and we're both members of the Dutch, oh my God, not the Dutch, but the Patient Association back in Holland, in Katwijk. And I will be brief, because Sonne is going to tell you all about the association later on. But what I would like to share with all of you is a quote. It's a quote from a very special person for me, namely my father. 10 years ago, he told me, there is this man in America, in Boston, and he's working very hard to find a cure. I'm sorry, it's a bit... and he said, let me tell you, he's going to make a difference. At that point, he was obviously talking about Stephen, and I was very skeptic back then, but now, 10 years later, here we stand, and we made definitely some good steps in the right direction. So I want to say thank you to Stephen, but not only Stephen, all of you, of course. And on behalf of my father, who passed away at the end of this month, 4 years ago, a big thank you. So, thanks.
Wow, tough thing to follow, believe me. I'm going to keep it short also, because you've been listening for a long time now already. But I think it's hard for you guys to understand what a pleasure it is for us to be here today and to be able to witness all the research that is being done on CAA. And most of you, I know, focus on CAA and not so much on the Katwijk disease, as we like to call it, because it's way too hard to pronounce, HCHWA-D, but anyway. We're from this little town in Holland named Katwijk that you probably never heard of, except when you're from Holland, which a lot of you are, which is really good. But it's a small town. But there are a couple of hundred people there that have to deal with this disease every day. And Jolanda and I are both one of those people where the Katwijk disease runs in our family. So we have to deal with the consequences of that every day. And also have to deal with the fact that we both have a 50% chance of being a gene carrier and, well, not growing very old, possibly. which is quite grim. Which is, I'm not trying to ruin your night, because I'm gonna end on a happy note, really. But 10 years ago, my mom came up with the idea to start a patient association because she noticed that there are hundreds of people that have to deal with this disease, but really not that much was being done for them. And the first night we started, we had this little note in the paper saying, this is our idea, we think of starting this association, maybe people want to join us. And the first night there were 40 people already. Which was for us a very good turnout, if you think of the fact that there are only a couple of hundred people that have to deal with this. And from there on out, it's almost 10 years later, there is, the Patient Association has grown to a size we could never dream of. We've met Stephen in the meantime, and Mark, special thanks to Mark van Buchem also. And Jan Vens, we had a lot of angels on our path. That's the way we like to think of it. And 10 years later, Jolanda and I are here as to represent the board of the Patient Association, to listen to your talks all day, and basically to become hopeful. Because I know for you it's research and it's your job and probably a passion also. But you're looking at these fMRIs or at your mouse models, and you're probably not thinking of Jolanda and I being very impatient, and maybe not for us, but if it's not for us, it's for our children and for our grandchildren. So thank you for making us hopeful, thank you for doing your job, and please, please, please hurry up. To end on a happy note, because I promised you to end on a happy note, we both know that life can be short. And because life can be short, you have to make the most of every day. And that's why tonight I'd like to cheer to you all. So cheers. 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 Cheers to life, to celebrate life every day. And for right now, to have a very good night and enjoy your meal. Thank you.
Great. Cheers.